Hey everyone, Kasey here, and I want to tell you about an adventure I just got back from. I went to Peru and climbed Machu Picchu. So I'm taking Diamox. It helps with altitude sickness. So it was hailing in the middle of the summer in South America, which is a very unique experience. That's hail.
This is what we have to look forward to.
Now, this wasn't the normal Inca Trail that you normally hear of when you go to Machu Picchu. It was a little bit longer. We actually got to be up in the mountains and it made the experience amazing. The trek we did was called the Salkantay trek. We started in Cusco, got bussed up to the mountain, and that's where our 5-day, 4-night adventure began. Day one of the trip is where we really got to know the group and our guide. Our guide's name was Freddie. He liked to go by Freddie Pitt because he was attractive, just like Brad Pitt. Today is the day. It's 4:40 in the morning. We're waiting for the van to pick us up for our ride to the mountain, and then we're gonna walk a lot. This is our van. It's gonna drive us. We're about to start. We're at 11,500 feet. We're going up to 12,800 feet tonight. We found wild horses. This one's called Brown Horse. Can I pet you? Oh. Didn't like that, and I'm not trying to get kicked. Right up there, through the passage. That's what we're doing tomorrow. Overall, day one wasn't very intense. It was really to get acclimatized. It was to see the ability level of the group. One of the main reasons we chose this truck was because of the sky domes. We're gonna take the top off, it's gonna look awesome, but let's take a look at the inside. Now watch this. Boom. Dude. We also did this awesome side hike up to this beautiful mountain range and saw this amazing teal water. The mountain was reflecting onto the water. It was surreal. We just descended about an hour from our camp and it is beautiful behind me. Awesome water, huge mountain. That's the mountain I've been taking pictures of all day. Super excited about this. Day two of the trek was a unique day because we went through the Salkantay Pass, and the whole time everyone is talking about the 7 snakes, this incredibly intense passageway that you have to go through. It's on the maps, it's on the shirts we got. Good morning. ¿Qué pasa? Coca tea. What a good way to wake up. It is day 2, and I think it is our longest hiking day today. Coca tea in the morning, delivered to your tent, is not a bad way to wake up. I wish I got this at home.
So yesterday was pretty awesome because we saw a condor and then we also saw a rainbow.
Today, a section of the hike is called the 7 Snakes. It's supposed to be really difficult and it's nicknamed the Gringo Killer. And we are going to kill the Gringo Killer!
The 7 Snake or Gringo Killer. I would like to see your faces in the 7 section.
What's the name of your horse? Hey, buddy. Oh, look, I pet him. How you feeling? Good. Give him a little kick. Give me a high five. Boom. In case you're wondering, they decided to take horses up. It takes about 2 hours instead of the 4 hours it's gonna take us. Pretty cool experience if you ask me. After some debating, our group decided to split. Jess and I are doing the 7 snakes the normal way. The rest of the group is doing the shortcut. Look at what we are going up. That's like pretty steep and pretty high. Just about down from the 7 snakes. I'm gonna be honest, significantly easier than expected. Honestly, like most things in life, just slow and steady wins the race. Beautiful views, fucking awesome. As I reflect on the name Gringo Killer, I really have to say it's more like Gringo Borer. How was the shortcut?
It was super hard, like super hard.
We survived.
We made it to the top. It was a fun climb. Key was consistency and not sprinting, because at high altitude you burn out quick. Here's the sign showing we made it to the top. We started around 6:30. It's now 9:45, so 3 hours 15. Not bad at all. Luckily, we're now gonna have some, I don't know, lunch, second breakfast. Anything tastes good after walking a high altitude for a while with some coca tea. Always good to get some stimulants in, because after this we have 6 hours downhill. Once we got to the top of the mountain, in addition to taking the group pictures, our guide Freddie led us in this really unique activity. We gave worship to Pachamama, which is kind of like their Mother Earth, and we wished for a safe passageway for the rest of the trip. It was a really unique experience because it helped us connect with the culture and the Inca spirit. Kasey. Then we had about a 5-hour hike downhill and on the flatlands. It rained, so my advice would be to have good rain gear, dress in layers, and hiking poles are always a plus when you're going uphill or downhill, to be honest. Got some weird bite or poison ivy on my leg, plus sunburn. Day 3. We have about 15 kilometers to do this morning. It's gonna be probably just under 4 hours of hiking. And it's gonna be flat hiking. How am I feeling today after day 2, the most intense day of the trek? Well, generally pretty good. So the thing I had on my leg last night has gotten significantly bigger. Every day we get snacks, and this is what we're looking at today. It's a really nice presentation. It kind of reminds me of Halloween almost.
I'm looking forward to the spa today, the hot springs.
1, 2, 3.
Los Afortunados! We're the lucky ones, that's our group name. Day 3 was pretty relaxed, but I will always remember that I found my new favorite fruit, the passion fruit. We went to farms, got to pick them, and got to try them fresh. It's delicious. We're learning how to eat the passion fruit. So you hit it like this. I can hear some stuff loosening up, and then how do I puncture it?
Just hit it.
All right. Boom! Nice bite on me. That's really good. It's a patch of butterflies. I've never seen so many in my life. My sister would hate this. So today we hiked a little under 4 hours, but it was much warmer than it has been. And putting my head in that water felt great. We also got to have coffee that was locally grown, and it was pretty intense in flavor, but much better than the instant stuff we'd been drinking all week. Micro batch coffee just for tourists. It's supposed to be pretty good. Well, of course, just found a cat. It's the real stuff, this drip coffee being made. We're now gonna try a coffee together for the first time.
First time.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Wow. It's very strong.
That's strong. We ended the day in the hot springs, which was a great way to relax and recover from the previous days of hiking. Before we get in the hot pools, we have to rinse off in water, which makes sense because we have all nasty gunk all over us from hiking for a couple of days. There are 4 different hot pools you can get in, and we're gonna start with the hottest one first.
This is the ground.
Wow, this is the ground. The dinner of night 3 was the last night our chef had to prepare dinner for us because on days 4 and 5 we were in towns. And he made us a very special dessert, the pisco sour, which is the national drink of Peru.
Day 4. 22 kilometers, 3 hours up a mountain.
Day 4 was a very, very memorable experience because for breakfast we got a surprise birthday cake. 2 members of our group were having belated birthdays and our chef heard about that, so he made us this amazing cake. It was seriously one of the best cakes I have ever had, and we were in the jungle. I don't know how he made that. This thing's awesome.
There's little matches on the top.
Dessert for breakfast. So he wants food or something. Hey. In terms of hiking on day 4, it started with a 2,000-foot climb. It was pretty much straight up the whole way. The weather was good, and we were unsure about what the weather conditions would be. If it had rained a lot, we would have had to take some bus and basically missed hiking the entire day. That would have been horrible. But because it was good weather, once we got to the top, we were also able to see Machu Picchu in the distance. So this was our first time laying eyes on Machu Picchu, and it got us excited for what was coming in the next 2 days. I guess you know you have a good brand when people all over the world use it. We're at the top. We got up in about 2 hours, which was awesome because Freddie told us it was going to take 3. It was an incline though, pretty much the whole time.
That was a very steep hike, but we made it to the top. We're gonna see Machu Picchu soon.
We can see it! It might be hard with the wide angle lens, but straight ahead. I'm gonna try the sacha tomate off of this tree right here. Bite it. I'm gonna squeeze the inside. This bridge is actually pretty awesome. I'm going back out. After going up the mountain, after going down the mountain and walking for a while, we got to where we were having lunch. And after lunch, we had a couple more hours of walking along the train tracks before we ended up at our final destination for that night, Aguas Caliente. We were very close. Good news is we are done hiking for today. We're in the town of Aguas Caliente. It's hot water. Check it out. It's like a really pretty little town. Fairly touristy, but like really cool vibe. Day 5, we woke up early so that we were one of the first people into Machu Picchu. We wanted to, I guess, get that experience without all the tourists going through all the ruins. And we were able to accomplish that, but we had to climb up a lot of stairs to do it. It is summit day. We have most of our group, and we're gonna start walking. It's 3:55 in the morning. To get up, there are 2 stages. Each stage has a checkpoint where you have to show them your pass and passport.
It's 4 o'clock and we're about to go climb Machu Picchu.
3 minutes away from the gates opening, and this line is insane. Look at all the people. And like, this like wraps around and keeps going. About halfway up.
Real sweaty.
I'm sweating the most I have the whole trip. "50 minutes flat. We made it up. How was the hike? I'm not gonna lie. Definitely worthwhile experience. All right, let's go see it. Thoughts on the stairs? Easier or harder than expected?
Harder. Same.
In case you are not someone who wants to walk up thousands of stairs or hundreds of stairs, I don't know how many it is exactly, there's also a bus you can take up and down the mountain. How was the bus? Comfortable. It's just after 6. This is gate 2 and the main entrance to the park. So quite a few people. Lines go all the way back there. Hello. Had a bit of an issue getting in. You're not supposed to have tripods. Well, we don't really know if you are or not. I tried to take it. Freddie solved the problem for us. So it's a non-issue. Now, Machu Picchu has 2 time slots for when you can go in during the day. There's a morning slot that's 6 to noon, and then an afternoon slot, noon to 6. If you want to beat the tourist, I would recommend you get the morning slot because they don't really regulate when you have to come out. So I think there's a backlog of people that tend to build up in the afternoon. We made it. Look at the view. It's real. Days and days of hiking has finally paid off. I've heard rumors for years that the government would one day shut down Machu Picchu, and that was one of my driving factors for doing this trip. I wanted to have the experience and be able to walk around the ruins before all I could do is look at them from a distance. But when our guide actually went through the history and explained what would one day happen to Machu Picchu and that our kids would no longer be able to do what we were doing, it kind of set in that it was a reality. And it made, I think, most of our group really appreciate what we were seeing and the history that we got to have a hands-on experience with.
Your legacy.
Yeah, all of you are lucky guys because the government wants to close this place because a lot of people are coming here. The tour guide wanna show this place just from these terraces, from that terraces, but the people they cannot walk inside the town.
Freddie was just telling us how about 20% of it is restored and then 80% is original. Hard to see, but like about right there, that's that grass patch we were taking pictures on yesterday. If you look real closely, you can see a guinea pig in the rock. In addition to Machu Picchu, there are 2 mountains on the side that you're able to climb up. You need additional passes for those. The one I did was Huayna Picchu. It was very, very steep in terms of climbing, but the views were amazing. I would highly recommend it. That was fun. We're at the top. How was it, Joss?
It was challenging, mentally challenging.
Because you're afraid of heights?
Because I'm terrified of heights. There's a one point, I only cried once.
That's where we were all day. That had a lot of steep stairs, the steepest we experienced the whole trip. I would definitely recommend doing this. The views of Machu Picchu are amazing as long as the weather is good. It's also great for photographers who want to get a great overlook of Machu Picchu. When we were leaving Machu Picchu, we also got to see llamas. They were just walking around. I decided to pet them and I completely forgot that llamas spit, but luckily none of them spit on me, so it was a very pleasant experience. They're very soft, by the way. Dude, there's a llama. Dude, can I pet you? Are you friendly, llama? I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna touch it.
Can I touch the llama?
Did I get yelled at? No. Oh, he's so soft.
Easy.
I want one.
I'm touching a llama.
Hey, buddy.
Look at him touching a
Oh, he's quick. He's a quick one. After 6 hours of exploring, we had a pretty healthy dose of Machu Picchu, and it was time to head back down and ultimately head back to Cusco. I'm doing something I always wanted to do. Whenever I go on a trip, I always hike up a mountain, and then I have to go down. It just hurts the knees. This time there's a bus that takes me down. And I don't even feel like it's cheating because of how much I hiked this week. That tastes so good.
So today, we found out we climbed 300 floors, which is 3 Empire State Buildings. More than 3 Empire State.
Or was it?
You might remember seeing footage of this weird bug bite I had on my leg. We also found people on the train who were medical professionals, and they helped me cut it open and take care of it. Alright, unfortunately it was anticlimactic, but it's actually super fortunate, so no real issue. Thank you to my friend here. The day after Machu Picchu, we spent time in the town, we learned more about the history, and then we also learned how to make the famous pisco sour drink.
We're good at this.
Peru, it's been fun. Overall, it was a fantastic trip. I didn't really have expectations going into it, but it was really nice to learn about the history of Machu Picchu, actually walk through the various lands, the mountains, the jungles, and see all the ruins that you hear about and see all the time online. In reality, I think I enjoyed going through the mountains and doing the Salkantay Pass more than Machu Picchu itself, just because there were less people there and the views, in my opinion, were more beautiful. I think this is a trip that almost anyone can do. It's a relatively inexpensive trip. Most people, you could actually fly in and actually book your trip there, so you don't have to book online. As always, if you have any questions, put a comment below. I will get back to you, and stay tuned for my next adventure. It's a video on my trip to Antarctica. All right, I'm gonna try alpaca, you know, the animal that has the fur and like soft blankets are made from. Really, wow.